I gotta sit down for this one, guys. Myles Garrett. First pick in the draft 3 years ago. Pro Bowl talent last year. 13. It was 12 and a half or 13 and a half sacks. I forget the exact number. 10 sacks already this year. Last night, does what I think is probably one of the stupidest multi-level acts of utter, I would say retardation, but even mentally handicapped people don't do stuff this stupid. It just pisses me off that the sport that I love and adore has something this dumb happen in it. And I could give a shit less about the Browns. I could give a shit less about the Steelers. I could give a shit less who got in a fight. But when it's to the point of you guys aren't just fighting. One guy rips the other guy's helmet off, has time to think about what he's going to do, and that thought process leads to, bitch, I'm going to swing this with my weight advantage body of over 200 pounds against this backup quarterback. I'm going to smash him over the goddamn head. And I know I'm doing that. I was going to wait till the suspension came out today before I chimed in with my thoughts on this. But, I mean, it's disgusting, it's putrid, it's an act of utter, just unfathomable violence. It's like, where is the brotherhood in this league? You're all men. You're all sons. A lot of you are fathers. Like, a lot of you are husbands. Like, the most amazing thing that came out of what went down last night is that Mason Rudolph was still standing after what happened. Because if what Myles Garrett did dropped him like a heap of bricks, like if it looked like that play in Baltimore a couple weeks ago where he just went completely limp and dropped to the ground, or if his head split open and he was just sitting there and a pool of blood cascaded down, or if he just sat there and literally died because his skull got cracked open. Well, it didn't happen, Archfiend. That's not what happened. He was fine. I don't want to give a shit about that. The bottom line is he went with intent that all of that was a an absolute, definite possible thing of happening. It just blows my mind that there wasn't enough of a brotherhood in that situation that he's just like, man, this little punk-ass backup quarterback keeps popping off to me, man. Man, we clowned him on defense today. This bitch threw 4 interceptions, had a fumble, only 1 touchdown, a 38 passer rating. Oh, I'm going to crack him over the head with the helmet, too. Like, the game was won. There was 10 seconds left in the game. You're up by 2 touchdowns. There is no possible way the Steelers are getting 2 more touchdowns. Impossible. The game's over. Settle with the fact that all you boys on defense did a good job, Myles. Talk trash to him, get in his face, be like, yeah, guess what? I'm going to see you in 2 weeks again, bitch. You ain't now. You ain't now. Talk smack to you. It's a rivalry matchup. I get that. Get in his face. Grab his face mask. Be like, bitch, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Now rip his face mask with the helmet attached and hit him over the head with it. The hell are you thinking? And see, and this is stuff that, like, either fair weather fans or people that aren't fans of the sport, they're going to say, like, look at this savagery. I'm never going to be a fan of this shit. Or it's going to be people just like, you know what? I'm done. This is stupid. I know there'll be very few people that applies to. But the bottom line is it's a bad look for the league. It's a bad look for the league. And again, Myles Garrett again, the most just mind blowing thing is that I don't know. He must not hit the gym hard enough because he swung that helmet like a little bitch. I'm sorry if you outweigh another guy by 100 plus pounds and you come down with full force trauma with a weapon in your hand and you don't knock the other guy out. I'm sorry, but you kind of swing like a little bitch. But anyway, but that is the whole thing about it, is that Mason Rudolph, just got up and was just like, yo, like, I don't know. I guess he's expecting another flag to come there or something. Like 2 flags, like referee pulls 2 flags out at the same time. Like, I mean, and then that guy who I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, that shoved Mason. And by the way, his shit that he said in the locker room, Oba Juba Daba, whatever his name is, when he said he shoved Mason Rudolph, he's like, I'm just retaliating because, my guy is on the ground getting beat up. Pouncey was on top of him throwing haymakers and shit. And I'm retaliating. Bitch, no. He wasn't on the ground yet. You shoved Mason to the ground immediately after he got hit by the helmet and before guys like Pouncey, which Myles Garrett is lucky he still had a helmet on because Pouncey was about to hit him with a 3-piece with a side of coleslaw. Anyway, it blows my mind that something this atrocious actually happened. Well, it's a savage sport, Archfiend. They tackle and, they're big, bulked up, juiced up guys. What do you expect? And I ain't expecting that. Like, come on, man. The guy doesn't have his helmet on because you took it. You can't use the excuse, I had no idea he had his helmet on. You ripped it off him, asshole! You knew! You had time to sit there and think about what you were going to do, and you made the calculated measure of, you're still talking to me, bitch! Bam! Like, it blows my mind that something this, I don't know if you want to categorize it more to stupid or violent. Because, I mean, you could argue it's an extreme of both. It's like, oh, people get shot in the streets all the time. It's not that bad, man. And this guy was up doing a press conference at the end. He was okay. Again, these are paid professional athletes. They all understand they're there to try and make millions upon millions of dollars. They have a God-given opportunity. If you believe in God, I don't. Anyway, they all have the ability and opportunity that so few people have. And this stupid bitch wanted to do something that could have very easily ended it. And I don't want to hear any tackle could be a season-ending injury or potential career-ending injury, stuff like that. The bottom line is that this was a calculated, specific, deliberate attack. Okay? This wasn't like someone doing a cheap shot chop block. This was a guy where I could understand, hey, if he came over and punched him in the face, I'd be like, that's dirty as shit, but you know what? It ain't that bad. He had a weapon. Like, I'm sorry. You have a physical weapon in your hand that hurts a lot more than if Myles Garrett just came over with his fist and clocked him in the face for popping off after the play was over. If he gets charged with assault, so be it. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, other than if Rudolph doesn't want to, which that's his prerogative if he does or doesn't. I mean, I think Rudolph is now just that much more motivated to show up in this game 2 weeks and clown these guys right back. Hey, I'm dying to see that game. And again, I gave a shit less about either of these teams. And then there's the whole Cleveland factor of everything. Cleveland is just that loser that a fan base just keeps showing up to support. I've never had much of anything bad to say about Cleveland because I'm like, I can't believe they still get fans to show up after how they've been done dirty when Art Modell packed up the trucks and headed to Baltimore, and just the years of irrelevance. Like, for my whole entire life, the Cleveland Browns, aside from when they didn't exist, were just irrelevant. No one ever saw the Browns on the schedule in my lifetime and said, oh shit, we gotta really gird up our loins to face the Browns this week. And now this happens, and it's like any chance of like any fringe fan support or just like, oh, we'll root for the lovable loser. That's gone. That's gone. Who's going to root for a team with this asshole Myles Garrett on it now? Like, and again, nothing else Myles Garrett does in his entire career will ever surpass what he's done. And he's a first pick in the draft. Like I said earlier on this video, Pro Bowl selection last year, 12 plus sacks, 10 sacks this year, on well on pace to get 15 plus sacks in a season. Like top 5 defensive end talents. That's what this guy has. And he's going to be known as the cheap shot bitch that couldn't even knock out a backup quarterback with a helmet. Hit the gym harder. Anyway, yeah, that's my 2 cents. And now let's wait for the league today to tell us how long we're going to have the honor of not seeing that bitch who, by the way, earlier on this season, if you forget, this is the guy that beat up Trevor Siemian with 2 illegal tackles that he got fined for and had a season-ending ankle injury for Trevor Journeyman. You beat up a Jets quarterback too. Oh God, whoa. This guy is going for the tough guy of the year awards come out yet, because this guy is a shoo-in. Toughest MFer out there, man. What a bitch. It's times like this where I wish, people, change their names to something stupid like Meta World Peace when they get in, fights in the stands in Detroit and something. Anyway, I wish, as society, if we get enough people to sign a petition, we could change your name for you. And I wish, someone would walk up, with maybe a police officer with a summons or something saying, hey, you got to come downtown and, change your IDs and everything, because enough people signed the petition to change your name to stupid bitch. And I wish, he'd have to go around with his football jersey with the name bitch on the back of it. Sacked today by stupid bitch for the Cleveland Browns. Anyways, that's just my fantasy I want to end this video on. Bye.